Okay, Tony, you can start.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Let me see.
Hi, good morning, Tony.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Tony Tang. I'm calling from Hong Kong. Thank you for joining the NFT panel. Actually, it's the NFT panel, and we have friends from all over the world, American Blockchain and Crypto Association, Mr. Howard Green. We also have from Singapore, Blockchain Association of Singapore, Mr. Chai Hock Lai. And we have Mr. Raj Kapoor, founder and CEO from the India Blockchain Association. And do I have, is that all? We have 3 blockchain experts. Thank you for joining this NFT call. So yeah, the non-fungible token NFT has been a very hot topic for the last half year. And actually, I was in Vancouver when they launched the first CryptoKitty, the first NFT project way back a few years ago. And during that time, the NFT was quite simple. It's the virtual pet, virtual CryptoKitty, and it actually blocked down the whole Ethereum network. And recently, we've seen all kinds of art, metaverse, GameFi. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about NFT, DeFi, GameFi, and metaverse. So it's great that we have, let's first start with American Blockchain and Cryptocurrency Association, Mr. Howard Green. Can you talk about yourself a little bit and give us a little bit about your background and about what you're doing recently? And then we're going to have a self-introduction from each of the panelist speakers. Let's start with Howard.
Sure. Thank you for having me, Tony. My name is Howard Greenberg. I'm the president of the American Blockchain and Cryptocurrency Association here in Washington, D.C. And we get very involved in education and adoption of blockchain. We work a lot with a lot of universities like Oxford, London School of Economics, some online training centers like Blockchain Training Alliance and Get Smarter, really working on education of blockchain and crypto here in the United States. And my background, I am a certified blockchain engineer and have been involved in cybersecurity first. Coming out of college, I worked for Thunderbyte and Thunderscan, 2 of the first projects out there back in the early 90s that dealt with virus protection. And you know, we've been around since 2017 as an organization. And you know, lately a lot going on here in the United States with regulations and the adoption of blockchain at the federal level, and we work a lot with that.
Great, Howard. And let's move to our second speaker from Singapore.
Hi.
From the Blockchain Association of Singapore, Mr. Chia Hock Lai.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hock Lai. I'm the co-chairman for the Blockchain Association Singapore, an organization set up to support the growth of the fintech and the blockchain sector in Singapore. I'm also the former and founding president of the Singapore Fintech Association. For my day job, I'm the CEO of Shishnovich, which provides fintech and blockchain consultancy services. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And next, we have, again, from India, the India Blockchain Alliance, Mr. Raj Kapoor, the founder and CEO of Point.
So sorry, Tony. Roger, is unavailable today, so he changed another panel. So to move to the Rajkumar.
Okay, Rajkumar, also from India Blockchain Alliance, or from?
Yeah, I'm Rajkumar. I'm the founding person of the Fintech Association of Sri Lanka.
Okay, thank you, Rajkumar. Did I say your name correctly? Rajkumar.
Rajkumar.
Okay, sorry, I was I got the earlier list. Rajkumar, thank you very much. So so let's move to our topic. Our main topic is about NFT and DeFi. Why don't we start with you by GameFi?
I've lost you here.
NFT metaverse in your. Okay, why don't we start with Howard again from American Blockchain Association, American Blockchain and Cryptocurrency Association. Howard, can you share with us from your part of the world, what's the latest in the NFT, DeFi, GameFi situation
Sure.
right now? What's your involvement and what's the interest level, Howard?
Interest level is very high in NFT and especially DeFi. You know, we're seeing banks like Goldman Sachs here in the United States that are hiring Ethereum developers to start, you know, developing some blockchain solutions, especially DeFi projects. Wells Fargo, you know, has been very involved. NFTs have definitely taken off, especially when it comes to the sport NFTs here in the US. You know, the NBA Top Shops from Dapper Labs has been really taking fire lately. And, you know, we definitely are seeing that interest, you know, and we're also seeing a lot of those fan tokens really take off that you have from Socius and Chills that are very popular here in the US. The NBA teams have just started getting involved with that. So, you know, we see that. And then the adoption of blockchain by PayPal and some of the other Fintech have been very exciting to see them get involved.
Okay, great. From Singapore, can you share with us?
I think for NFT, while we see a lot of interest, I think one area that a lot of the investors might not be quite aware is that the copyright issues, because typically when you buy an NFT, it's no different from you buying a physical art from the gallery. You gain ownership rights to the NFT, but the underlying copyrights usually still belongs to the original creator. So basically the original creator still retain the bundle of rights that allows them to, let's say, reproduce, create new derivatives, distribute new copies, or publicly display their work. So I think this is something that many people are not aware. The other thing is also that a lot of the NFT platforms, they might have different practices with regards to the copyright issues. And also the other thing that is getting more prevalent is really that people are like minting NFTs, masquerading the identity of the original creator. We have seen quite a number of such cases. So I think for the industry to mature and move forward, I think all these copyright issues need to be more well established and probably having more standardized practices. Because I'm aware some of the more popular NFT platforms does not even verify that if you are the original creator or you own the copyright of the underlying NFT, and there might not be sufficient level of KYC involved. So this is still very new. Even from the perspective of regulation, the definition of NFT, whether it falls under existing regulations for tokens, is also very unclear. And it really depends on what kind of NFT it is and what is the underlying, whether is it a native digital NFT or it is an NFT that is backed by some real world assets. And depending on the nature of that real world asset, it might even fall under securities law. So I think we are still in very age of NFT development. Thanks.
Okay, can you also talk a little bit about, in Singapore, I heard that the MAS, it was reported that the MAS is about to grant a number of licenses, something like 80 licenses to many of the major crypto exchanges.
Okay, so yeah, so in Singapore, in Singapore, the MAS looks at crypto regulation depending on
changes
the nature,
such as Binance in terms of regulating.
Yeah, so in Singapore, the regulator already stated they look at crypto regulation depending on the function they are doing. So if it is a utility token, it's not regulated. If it functions like a payment, right, there is the Payment Services Act that the industry players will have to obtain a license. This is where most of the crypto exchanges are operating under. Currently, there are 90 on the list that are on the exempt basis to operate a crypto exchange. Recently, 2 companies has publicly acknowledged that they have been given in principle approval for the Payment Services Act to operate digital payment token exchange. Those 2 companies are, one is called Independent Reserve. They are based in Australia, but they have a subsidiary in Singapore, mainly handling OTC. The other company is actually a subsidiary of the local bank, DBS Bank. So that subsidiary is called DBS Vickers, which is a brokerage. So currently only 2 has been given. Just 2 days ago, another payments company has been given the DPT license. So now they are mainly in the remittance business, and they are now licensed to handle both cryptocurrency and central bank digital currency. So that's the current state of crypto regulation in Singapore.
It seems that can you hear me, Singapore?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
I think your internet connection
Now
is
let's,
not
yeah, Rajkumar, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, Rajkumar, you heard the question. Can you share with us what's the latest with your part of the world in NFT, DeFi, and CeFi?
Yeah.
And also, what are the regulators doing in regulations for?
Okay, your question is okay. It's half broken. It's okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, NFT. We are one of the startups. They launched one project on NFT, but in Sri Lanka the regulation is very still is in the gray area. So we are not sure about NFT or STO or any of the projects, the Sri Lanka regulators still they haven't come out with any clear picture. But they have recently started a the regulatory sandbox for the fintech startups. Even that we still, we are not sure about, because there are a lot of things are there, issues and all. But when it comes to NFT, one of the startup, I don't know, maybe they might use Singapore as the base place to launch this NFT. But though this is a Sri Lankan startup, we are well connected with Singapore. Even personally, I am well connected with the Singapore Fintech Association. They are the first association. We signed a MOU with Chia, and also I'm very close to Sapnand Mohanty of the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So I think in future, if we are going to do any NFT projects, for some time we will be using Singapore as a base, because most of the digital assets or the NFT or these sort of ventures, they have some sort of clear the regulatory guidelines. So this is our situation. So we'll have to depend on Singapore for the time being. So it will take some time to Sri Lanka to the Sri Lankan regulators to regulate properly. So we are connecting the regulator. We are working closely with the regulator also in Sri Lanka, Central Bank of Sri Lanka. But still, we are not like Singapore, Hong Kong, or United Arab Emirates. We are not a financial hub. So we saw the regulators are the concerns. So we let it depend on for some time Singapore. Thank you. Tony?
I think we lost Tony.
Sorry, it seems that the network is slow. I can't hear you. What's the legality of Bitcoin in cryptocurrencies? I remember the regulatory environment in India and Sri Lanka.
Okay, so it's a question to me, right?
Yeah, it's Rajkumar. Just what's the legality of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in India and Sri Lanka?
Yeah. In Sri Lanka, the central bank is not encouraging for any cryptocurrency trading or anything. So they have warned the public. But still a lot of people in Sri Lanka, they are investing, and there are trading happening, the Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrency. But publicly they can't advertise, or they can convince people to get into this any cryptocurrency trade in Sri Lanka. But it's happening. A lot of people are investing in Sri Lanka. But still it's not regulated in Sri Lanka, the Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies. India also is legal. People can buy. There are a lot of trading is happening in not like in Sri Lanka. In India, there are a lot of nearly 15 million people. They are using cryptocurrencies, mainly the Bitcoin in India. So that's and also, but still in India is not regulated. But they are trying to most of the cryptocurrency, the traders, they want it should be regulated in India, because then they can canvas more investors. We have a lot of investors in and the high net worth, the individual investors, they want to invest, but they are scared because it's not regulated in India. So, but even without proper regulation, India is leading in the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin, the investment and trade. mostly it's like I don't think they use it like as a sort of a currency purpose. Mostly it's a sort of an asset. It's a deflationary asset. That's the way they say, because the Bitcoin is not going to compete with the Indian rupees. That is a inflationary monetary system, but the Bitcoin is a deflationary asset, so it should be regulated as an asset. That's the way they are demanding the Central Bank of India. So these are the situation in India and Sri
Okay.
Lanka.
Okay, thank you for sharing with us, Rajkumar. I'm going to be sharing a little bit with everyone here. What's the latest regulations coming from China and Hong Kong? Again, I'm based in Hong Kong with Hong Kong Blockchain Association. I'm the co-founder and co-chairman. My name is Tony Tang. In China, as many of you probably heard recently, just a few months ago in May this year, China actually announced major policies, basically banning crypto exchanges and crypto mining in China. So as a result, many of my friends who are in the Bitcoin and crypto trading business in China, from exchanges to other, for example, whether it's DeFi or CeFi exchanges, they are all moving overseas. For crypto mining, the biggest crypto miners, Bitcoin miners, they are all moving abroad. One of my great friends is with BTC.com. The company is listed on NASDAQ BTCM. They are one of the top 3 biggest Bitcoin miners in China. They've announced that they are, as a listed company, you can see their announcement. They are moving their mining machines to Kazakhstan and other parts of the world. Some of my other friends are moving their Ethereum GPU mining machines or ASIC Bitcoin mining machines, or even Filecoin distributed storage mining machines, Chia mining machines to, if it's Filecoin and Chia, they are moving to Hong Kong. For Bitcoin, Ethereum, they are moving to Canada, to the Central Asia, and to the US as well. So in Hong Kong, currently the Hong Kong regulator, the SFC, Securities Futures Commission of Hong Kong, has issued one license regarding a virtual asset trading platform, VATP, which is a Type 7 license under the SFC. There's a company called OSL that's also listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, BC Group. They are the first company that received this license, virtual asset trading platform, VATP license in Hong Kong. But part of the licensing requirement is that they can only provide service to professional investors or PIs. And in Hong Kong, the definitions that they have to provide proof that they have liquid asset of over 8 million Hong Kong dollars, which is more than 1.1 million US. So, and in Hong Kong, the SFC has also issued 2 virtual asset management license, the VA asset management licenses, to Venture Smart and Huobi Asset Management. So as a license holder, virtual asset management license, they can provide like crypto fund, they can do fundraising, but again, they can only serve to the professional investors, and they can do fundraising, and they can do a crypto fund and invest in various cryptocurrency blockchain projects. And I'm also involved in part of the license application for Type 7 and Type 9 license. So that's the situation here in Hong Kong and China. But we see that the cryptocurrency mining started very strong in China, but now, according to the latest government policy, they have to move abroad, especially the crypto mining, the crypto exchange, even OTC, over-the-counter trading, OTC business. It's very risky in China, but in Hong Kong, that's very popular. There are many companies that are doing OTC trading. Also in Hong Kong is as a licensed entity, as you are only allowed to trade like 4 cryptocurrencies. That's BTC, ETH, and USDC. Even USDT is not allowed in the VATP crypto trading platform by OSL currently. So it's very limited, and there's only a security token offering STO that's also allowed if it's approved by the government. So let's go back to the US. Howard, can you share with us regarding the government regulations we saw earlier this year? We have Coinbase IPO. That's a very big event for the cryptocurrency trading industry. What else is happening?
Sure, thank you. A lot of things, like you said, Coinbase went public with an IPO this year, very popular exchange, the largest here in the US. And, you know, that has gone very well. We have seen, like you said, a lot of the miners have moved their stuff from China over into the US. There are a few states here in the US. It's a little disjointed still, and states are sort of, and when it comes to mining, each individual state has its own rules. So each region within the United States, and places like Texas and Wyoming and Florida are really trying to attract the miners. They have, you know, tax benefits for them. They're trying to find low cost renewable energy for them. And we've seen that. Recently, we just had some crypto regulations go through the Senate in our new infrastructure bill that caused a little bit of an uproar here in the US, but, you know, it's still a lot of time until it actually goes into effect. Here in the US, we have sort of 3 different entities that oversee and regulate crypto industry. You have the US Treasury, which is our tax reporting area, and also what's called FinCEN, which is our financial crime unit that looks out for AML and KYC that was mentioned earlier by some of the other panel members. We have the SEC. Our SEC would be the ones that monitor securities. So, you know, like right now, Ripple is in a lawsuit with them because they've declared Ripple to be a security. And then we have the CFTC, which does commodities, and Bitcoin and Ethereum as of, you know, 2018, 17 have been regulated through the CFTC. So we have a lot of different things going on. It has really hit the forefront in the last 6 months or so. And we see a lot of interest by the regulators. We've been asked to educate and work with a lot of them here at the ABCA. We're talking with the Senate Banking Group next week. We have had conversations with some of the elected officials, because basically Congress is going to need to decide which one of those regulators needs to sort of take the reins and oversee crypto here. You know, we're seeing a ton of DC investment around, you know, around the blockchain and cryptocurrency and NFT market here in the United States, especially. There's a lot more companies talking about going public. We just had Blockstream announce it. Blockchain.com is talking about going public. Binance.us. CZ just mentioned today that they plan to go public in the next 3 years on the you know, New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. And as you mentioned, you know, mining has been really the thing that we've seen the most uptick in business lately. And, you know, a lot of the hash power and hash rate has come here into the United States. You know, and that's really where we're at right now.
Yeah, I also noticed the SPAC is a big thing, and my friend Jeremy Allaire, Circle.com, they're also USDC. They're filing for a SPAC. That seems to be a popular way for a number of crypto projects. And regarding ETF, yeah, can you also share with us, you know, the ETF and SPAC? Grayscale started as like a crypto trust listed on the exchange. but many have been filing for IPO or listing with an ETF. Can you share with us what's the latest on that area?
Sure. So like you said, Grayscale was the first to come out with a Bitcoin trust, but similar to what you said about Hong Kong, they were only allowed to sell to accredited investors. So you had to invest $25,000 as your initial investment to join the trust. They do have a wide selection. They have Bitcoin trust, they have an Ethereum trust, they also have a DeFi trust. They have they've applied along with Van Eck and CoinShares. There's about 13 applications currently in front of the SEC for ETFs. The new commissioner of the SEC, Gary Gensler, went on record about a month ago saying that he would rather see people look at using Bitcoin futures, which are already regulated through the CFTC, as the method to sort of do an ETF. So quickly, you had 5 or 6 different companies. Van Eck did one, Galaxy Digital has one in the works. CoinShares has one also, that have sort of shifted and looking at using cash settled derivatives of Bitcoin as opposed to a true Bitcoin, ETF, where Bitcoin is the, native asset that is traded. So we've seen a little bit of a change. We are hoping that within this next few months that we'll see that regulation get approved and, go from there. But is definitely, a lot of interest in the US in that. Above us in Canada, there has already been 4 or 5 approved there, and they're available to be bought in the US, but on the OTC market. But a lot of the different providers of securities like TD Ameritrade and others do allow you to get those. Same thing with Grayscale Trust. You can buy that OTC in the US.
Regarding banks that can support cryptocurrency, like a crypto custody, I know that there's like Signature Bank and what's a Silvergate.
Silvergate.
I heard, yeah, there are more banks that are setting up digital banks in like Colorado or Wyoming. In Singapore, we're gonna go to our friend there in a minute, because I'm also setting up companies to open a bank account with DBS, Development Bank of Singapore, because they're the first major Asian bank that would provide Bitcoin or crypto custody services. In the US, can you tell us what are most banks, what's their policy towards Bitcoin if you're like money in and out, saying you're buying Bitcoin or trading Bitcoin? Will the bank close your account like what's happening very often in China, in Hong Kong? If you tell the bank, oh yes, I'm, this wire transfer is for buying Bitcoin very quickly, right here in Hong Kong or in China, you're going to see your bank account getting closed. What's the general policy in the US regarding the banks?
Sure, we don't have that issue anymore. We saw a little of that in 2017. Now most banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, 3 of the largest US banks have all done custodian service. And as you said, in Wyoming, and actually federally chartered, there's Avanti Bank and Kraken, both have federal charters to be digital asset banks here in the United States. Anchorage is another custody bank. And then recently, NYDIG, which is one of Galaxy Digital's companies, they are actually working with the smaller banks to be able to provide you the access to actually buy Bitcoin directly out of your bank account, which is not only allowed right now really for high wealth individuals by some of the private banking groups like Goldman Sachs, but we haven't had any problems there. It's pretty much, open to use the exchanges. We use ACH or debit cards even to connect to Coinbase and Gemini and the other exchanges like that. But we are seeing right now that Avanti and Kraken are trying to actually connect to the central banking, federal banking service, and they're getting a little bit of pushback. We're definitely seeing the legacy financial service companies push back. I think they want to develop their own systems and their own, solutions before they let us get, our hands wet in it. So that seems to be where we're at here in the US.
Okay, great. In the US, just to share with you, I'm using US Bank that started in Minneapolis. Are they accepting, money or Bitcoin custody? Are they doing that?
They don't, to my knowledge, they're not on doing Bitcoin custody yet, but they do allow the customers to every bank, to my knowledge, is allowing banks to,
Okay.
you to buy. But I haven't heard anything.
Is that for retail customers or for accredited investors?
So they'll do custody for accredited investors. They allow purchases by any customer.
Okay, thank you for sharing with us. So let's go to Singapore again. Blockchain Association Singapore, co-chairman Chia Hock Lai. As I told you, I just started opening a bank account with the DBS, hoping to get the crypto custody service. In Hong Kong, we also have DBS, but the local Hong Kong DBS told me that they do not allow Bitcoin. They do not have Bitcoin custody, and they do not allow Bitcoin purchase using DBS Hong Kong in accordance to the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the policies here in Hong Kong. So that's why I'm switching and moving to Singapore, and many of my fellow friends from Hong Kong and China are also moving their companies and operations to Singapore, because actually the government has more better policies, I believe, in allowing cryptocurrency companies, exchanges, and in providing regulatory licenses and banking support. So can you share with us more, Mr. Chia Hock Lai?
Yeah, because DBS got the license to provide such digital assets custody services, and they are currently only providing that to their private banking customers. Actually, there are also quite a number of fintech companies based in Singapore that provides custody services. They have the necessary licenses from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So there are actually quite a number of choices. Two companies came to me. I mean, one is Propine, and then the other fintech company providing digital asset custody service is on-chain custodian. So there are quite a number of choices in Singapore. Then again, like for the regulator in Singapore, we have stated quite a number of times, crypto activity is relatively not high compared to, for example, like securities trading is just less than 2% of the trading volume in the Singapore Stock Exchange. In terms of derivative, right, it's even smaller, I think less than 0.1%. And none of the crypto related funds in Singapore are available to retail customers. So the focus and concern of the regulator on crypto is really related to AML and CFT, basically combat the terrorist financing and also anti-money laundering. That is something that like the regulator is very aligned to the FATF Financial Action Task Force guidance. And then I think there has been a number of questions whether is the NFT or even DeFi regulator under this. I think really depends on the nature of the NFT or the DeFi in terms of whether they will be regulated, because like MAS has stated many times, they will look beyond the pure labeling of the product. They will look at the underlying functionality to decide whether this is a product that is licensed. And I mentioned earlier, we look at whether is it utility or payment or is it securities. So that is probably a little bit more clarity in Singapore. Yeah.
Okay, how can you share with us regarding DBS, the custody service? Is that offered to only accredited investors or professional investors, or to all retail investors?
No, it's not available to retail investors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and my other question in Singapore is, what about futures, like Bitcoin futures, ETF, or even Bitcoin exchange IPOs? We know in the US we have Coinbase and many others that are going to list on the major stock exchange, NYSE or NASDAQ, and through SPAC or IPO or DPO. In Hong Kong, we don't have IPOs yet. Some of the biggest Bitcoin mining companies came to Hong Kong from China for IPO application, but they all got they did not list successfully. That's why they're all moving to the US. Like Canon Creative, eBank, they all listed on NASDAQ, and so in Hong Kong, unfortunately, we don't have any crypto IPOs yet, but we have several reverse mergers through a reverse into shells. So can you share with us, with the Singapore Stock Exchange, what's their policy towards getting crypto exchanges or crypto companies listed?
I am not aware of any company looking to list on the Singapore Stock Exchange for such the nature of activities. I do know of a number of the listed companies that are into crypto. One of the company, they will have a staking business, but by and large, I think due to the nature and the volume of activity, I'm not sure whether even Singapore Stock Exchange is a suitable platform for many of these companies. I think they will still be looking for those more vibrant markets like US or even Hong Kong for such listings.
Okay, for Hong Kong, many of them would like to come to Hong Kong, but I know the SFC regulator in Hong Kong is quite conservative. Like I said, 3 of the biggest Bitcoin miners tried to list in Hong Kong, but did not get approved. That's why they moved to the US. Very unfortunate. So from Rajkumar, can you share with us, again, in India, Sri Lanka, your part of the world, how can cryptocurrency companies get funded? Can they raise fund? Can they go IPO and get public funding?
In Sri Lanka, it's not possible because it's not regulated. And also in India, also it's not possible IPO because still it's not regulated, cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin, by the Reserve Bank of India, the central bank in India. So it's not possible the IPO anyway. But they are trying to regulate. But anyway, the Indian the Bitcoin traders and the investors, they push the regulators. It's a deflationary asset, the Bitcoin. It's not a inflationary.
What about crypto mining, Rajkumar? Can companies do Bitcoin mining? Is that legal in India and Sri Lanka?
In Sri Lanka, in Sri Lanka, no one is doing the Bitcoin mining as far as I know. I don't know whether they are doing illegally, but in India also, as far as I know, legally no one is doing, but illegally they might be doing in India also, but I'm not sure. But Bitcoin is legal because nearly 15 million people are involved, either trading or either by investing. So they are involved either as an asset class they are investing or I am not sure to which extent they are using as a currency to transact money because of the Bitcoin. The transaction fee is very high. I don't know, but as an asset class, yes, in India there are a lot of people they are investing, and a lot of people they want to invest high net worth individual, and they are still waiting for it should be regulated by the Central Bank of India, the Reserve Bank of India. So they are waiting for. But I'm not sure about the mining part is allowed legally at the moment in India and Sri Lanka.
Okay, thank you. Again, here in Hong Kong, it's Bitcoin cryptocurrency is very free. We have some of the biggest crypto exchanges and cryptocurrencies are based in Hong Kong. USDT has a big presence in Hong Kong. FTX, one of the biggest derivatives exchange, is based in Hong Kong. We also have 4B, and Binance has operation, OKEX, OSL, the company I'm associated with, Global STO. We also have a big presence right here in Hong Kong. But if you apply for the Hong Kong SFC Type 7 or Type 9 license, if you're licensed, you're only allowed to serve to the professional investors, and that's people with assets over $1 million US. So I have one more question, if time is allowed. Howard, regarding DeFi versus CeFi, everyone is saying that DeFi is the future of the crypto exchanges, and even Coinbase listed. I think they have investment in like Curve. So can you share with us with the DeFi's the movement towards DEX and DeFi, and the legal regulators? What's their policy towards DEX and DeFi?
Sure, we're seeing, yeah, absolutely. We are seeing people in, or the regulators in the US are definitely a little concerned about DeFi, especially when it comes to being able to do KYC and AML. The anti-money laundering rules are very, stringent here in the United States, and that seems to be the biggest roadblock. I think what we're going to see, in my opinion, in the future is we're going to see banks like Goldman Sachs or fintech companies like PayPal be the front-facing part of the industry, where they provide the customers the compliance, and they're able to handle the reporting requirements. And companies like Curve and Aave and Maker and other DeFi projects will actually be the back end of the banking offerings. We're going to see, in my opinion, a sort of merger and acquisition sort of go on, or at least partnerships between CeFi and DeFi to make it, hit all of the regulatory hurdles that we'll have to get over here in the United States. But it is very exciting, and something that you definitely see being examined already by some of the biggest banks, Goldman Sachs being one of the leaders, BNY Mellon, another one of the world's, it's the United States' oldest bank, is looking to get involved in that also.
What about just GameFi? Because recently we've seen even China, Tencent, all the gaming, the social game companies in China, they are going through huge regulatory restrictions, new policies towards banning young kids, adolescents, and kids from addictive plays on social games. But on the second hand, in Hong Kong and all of Asia, we've seen Metaverse, Axie Infinities, and these kind of GameFi projects are taken over during this COVID. And like many people, I know friends in Manila, in the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, they're playing games like Axie Infinity to make a living. So share with us what's your thoughts over GameFi, and in the US, is it very strong?
Yeah, it is definitely very strong. We're seeing a lot of the play to earn, we call it here in the US, the play to earn blockchain games, like you said, Axie Infinity, Zed, the horse racing game, Animoca, one of the larger, gaming companies in the world, has been launching.
They're based in Hong Kong.
Yeah, they've been launching a lot of different games with different platforms. Atari, getting very involved in it. We haven't seen any sort of blowback from regulators at this time. I think it's a little bit under the radar still here in the US, but it's something they'll probably start looking at, because tax dollars are always important. And if someone's earning money, you have to pay your taxes on it here in the US. So I think they will start to regulate it a little bit more, but it's definitely a booming part of the industry, one of the ones that I'm most excited about.
Okay, Singapore, Hock, can you share with us?
Yeah, I don't think the gaming type of things are coming to Singapore, because I think Singapore is a very small market. But you rightly pointed out that the rest of ASEAN is actually quite vibrant. And if you look at some of the recent reports, right, for example, Vietnam is the country with the highest adoption rate for crypto. And for Axie Infinity, 60% of the users are coming from Philippines. So you can see that I think GameFi will be very suitable for further development within the ASEAN, because largely because almost half of the population in the emerging countries in ASEAN are around 30 years old, the young customers.
Okay, we're actually running over time. Let's go into the summary session. So Rajkumar, do you have your final words before we leave this panel? Can you share with our audience what's your final words? Rajkumar? Yeah, my final words say like I'm also getting this fintech in the sector because from the crypto side, because I involved in 2017 in the ICO project with the Jordanian finance, but it's finally has given up because of the other regulatory issues. So now it's 2021. We are in an all cryptocurrency and the decent finance, the NFT and the STO all in a different dimension, and the different regulators from the Moderator to Singapore to Hong Kong to UAE to US, and different coming out with different criterias and different expectation. So I think even China is coming out with this decentralized the digital Chinese yuan to counter the Libra. Now it is DM. So maybe so there are a lot of stable coins. Even now the DM is going to be a different sort of they have changed their topic. There is not earlier Libra, and now it is going to be a peg with different countries with the different currencies. So, but anyway, now the Chinese the digital yuan also is coming up because although in Bahamas and Cambodia already the digital currencies are there, the Chinese digital yuan is coming. It maybe is coming from a very powerful country with a lot of population. So it might compete with it jeopardize the dominance of the dollar over the time. So the US also is now coming out with, or it's watching, or it's coming out with various strategies, and various other countries, Europe also coming out with these sort of the stable coins and the decentralized the digital currencies. So I think we are going to have in 2022-23 with the different currencies and the different, maybe the Bitcoin and the Ethereum will dominate again, but I am not sure about other cryptocurrencies. So we are going to have a world with a lot of different sort of digital and cryptocurrency products, and new regulations, and new way of investing, and the new way of financing and raising funds, and so the whole new world we'll be having in the near future. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Rajkumar. Yes, indeed. Right here in Hong Kong, we have a lot of news about the digital yuan, the DCEP from China. They've gone through pilot tests in 4 cities, and now they're going to be opening up to more and more cities. So in Hong Kong, we have a few other local or regional stable coins that are getting ready to be launched. Even the former CEO of Hong Kong Monetary Authority, HKMA, he's joined a company called RT Dollar Wallet. They're going to be launching a Pan-Asia digital stable coin that's based on Hong Kong dollar, maybe Japanese yen and RMB, Chinese yuan. So go back to Howard. What's your concluding words, and maybe you share with us what's the latest with DM? Are we going to see it getting launched by Zuckerberg finally? When is that going to happen?
Sure. It does look like it's going to happen, either the beginning of next year at some point in 2022. My final words are, to work together to educate our, the regulatory committees, put together our academic brains together and really try to show them how this can be so transformative. As my counterpart from Singapore said, in the Philippines, there's so many people that are using GameFi as a way to survive. And, I think we have sort of dropped the ball a little bit in working together as a centralized sort of group and really educate regulators around the world on the benefits of our innovation that we have. And I think that we're seeing that happen more and more every day as groups like us get together and panels like this get together and work together to make sure that we get, really strong but solid regulation that makes sense for all of us and can move the market forward.
Well, thank you, Howard. Yes, let's do that. We should talk more, definitely. So Singapore, Hock Lai, sorry. Can you share with us your final thoughts?
I think over the last 12 months, the game changer is really the institutional interest in the digital asset space. And I think even for both NFT and DeFi, they are actually not new. They are already available in 2017. But I think many of the products hit the right sweet spot and really took off over the last 12 months. And I think moving forward, it will continue to be very exciting. We are, even at the association level, we are seeing many traditional financial institutions joining as a member. So that spells a lot about the potential of the digital asset space. So I continue to be very optimistic about this industry moving forward.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Howard from the US, Hock Lai from Singapore, Rajkumar from Sri Lanka, thank you very much. My name is Tony Tang from Hong Kong Blockchain Association. And Hong Kong is also one of the most popular crypto fundraising centers in the world. If anyone don't ever come to Hong Kong, please stop by and join our activities. We have a lot of, recently there's a lot of activities. We celebrated the Solana Ethereum a party a couple of weeks ago at the Crypto Drinks in Lanka in Hong Kong. So please hope to see you again online, and hopefully we can all travel and meet each other soon after the COVID. Thank you.